Have you ever wondered how to install Kali Linux? Let's embark on this journey together. Kali Linux, a powerful name in the world of cybersecurity, is an open-source operating system designed by and for ethical hackers. It's a treasure trove of tools with over 600 pre-installed that aid in testing the robustness of systems and networks, making it a preferred choice for cybersecurity enthusiasts and professionals alike. But why should cybersecurity students have their eyes on Kali Linux? Well, it's straightforward. Kali Linux offers a real-world environment to learn and practice cybersecurity techniques. It provides you with a sandbox to test, break, fix, and learn. From penetration testing to digital forensics, Kali Linux is a one-stop shop for all your cybersecurity needs. So, ready to dive into the world of Kali Linux? Stay tuned to learn how to install this powerful tool. Before we dive into the installation process, let's go over the system requirements for Kali Linux. To ensure a smooth installation and optimal performance, it's essential to meet these prerequisites. Starting with the hardware, your system should have a minimum of 1 GB of RAM, though 2 GB or more is recommended. For storage, you'll need at least 20 GB of disk space. Kali Linux supports both 32-bit and 64-bit processors, so it can run on a wide range of systems. On the software end, you'll need a compatible operating system to host Kali Linux. This could be Windows, Mac, or another Linux distribution. You'll also need a reliable internet connection to download the necessary files and updates. Lastly, remember that Kali Linux is a powerful tool. It's important to use it responsibly and ethically. Now that you know what you need, we can move on to the installation process. The first step in the installation process is to download Kali Linux. Now, you might be wondering, where do we download Kali Linux from? The answer is simple. We'll be downloading Kali Linux directly from its official website. It's essential to download from the official source to ensure we're getting a clean, safe version of the operating system. As we navigate the site, we'll find a variety of versions available for download. You'll see options like Kali Linux Lite, Kali Linux XFCE, and the standard Kali Linux. Each version has its unique features and advantages. The Lite version, for instance, is a minimal, lightweight edition of Kali Linux, ideal for older systems with less processing power. The XFCE version offers a more streamlined, user-friendly interface, and the standard Kali Linux is the full-fledged version, complete with all the tools and utilities Kali is known for. But if you're just starting out, I'd recommend going with the standard Kali Linux. It's the most comprehensive version, giving you access to all the tools you'll need as you explore the world of cybersecurity. Once we've selected our preferred version, we'll be presented with two download options, a torrent download or a direct download. If you're unfamiliar with torrent downloads, don't fret. The direct download is just as efficient. Simply click on the direct download link and the download process will begin. As the download progresses, you might notice the file size is quite large. That's because Kali Linux is packed with a wide array of powerful tools and applications. So while it might take some time to download, rest assured it'll be worth the wait. Once the download is complete, don't rush to open the file just yet. We'll need to verify the integrity of the file to ensure it hasn't been tampered with during the download process. This is a crucial step in maintaining the security of our new operating system. With the download complete, we're ready to start the installation. Next, we need to create a bootable USB for Kali Linux. Now, you might be wondering, what's a bootable USB? It's simply a USB stick that has been configured to act as a live operating system. This means you can use it to boot up and run a system like Kali Linux directly from the USB without having to install anything on your computer. Creating a bootable USB is a critical step in the installation process of Kali Linux. It makes the process easier, more flexible, and safer. It's easier because you don't have to worry about creating partitions on your hard drive or risking any data loss. It's flexible because you can use the bootable USB on any computer, as long as it supports booting from USB. And it's safer because if something goes wrong during the installation, your computer's primary operating system remains unaffected. The process of creating a bootable USB for Kali Linux involves a few steps. First, you need a USB stick, preferably with a capacity of at least 8 gigabytes. Second, you need the Kali Linux ISO file, which we discussed in the previous scene. And third, you need a software tool to write the ISO file to the USB stick. There are several tools available for this purpose, both free and paid. Some popular options include Rufus, Etcher, and Universal USB Installer. These tools are user-friendly and support a variety of operating systems, including Windows, macOS, and Linux. Once you have your USB stick, your Kali Linux ISO file, and your chosen software tool, the rest of the process is straightforward. You start the tool, select the ISO file, select the USB stick, and then click on the button to start the writing process. The tool takes care of the rest, formatting the USB stick and then writing the ISO file to it. In just a few minutes, your bootable USB for Kali Linux will be ready. And once it's ready, you can use it to boot up any computer and start the installation process for Kali Linux. With your bootable USB ready, you're one step closer to having Kali Linux on your system. Now comes the exciting part, installing Kali Linux. We've made our preparations. We've created our bootable USB, and now it's time to bring Kali Linux to life on our system. Let's dive right in. First up, boot your system from the USB drive. This process may vary depending on the configuration of your device, but typically it involves restarting your computer, pressing a designated key to open the boot menu, and then selecting the USB drive. Once the system boots from the USB, a new screen will appear with a list of options. Here, select Graphical Install for a more user-friendly installation process. You'll be greeted with a series of installation steps that we'll go through one by one. First, choose your preferred language and select your location. The system will use this information to set your time zone and locale. Next, configure your network settings. If your computer is connected to a network, Kali Linux will attempt to auto-detect these settings. If you're not connected, or if the auto-detection fails, you'll have the option to configure these settings manually. Now, it's time to set your host name and domain name. These names will identify your computer on the network. You can choose any names you like, but remember, they should be unique to avoid confusion with other devices on the same network. Next, set up your user account. This includes your full name, your username, and your password. Make sure to choose a strong password that's hard to guess, but easy for you to remember. This account will be your primary account for using Kali Linux, so make sure the details are correct. Now, onto disk partitioning. This process divides your hard disk into sections or partitions where Kali Linux will be installed. For beginners, the guided use entire disk option is recommended. This option will automatically set up the partitions for you. After you've selected your disk partitioning method, you'll be asked to confirm your choices. This is your last chance to go back and make any changes. Once you confirm, the system will start installing Kali Linux on your hard drive. During the installation, you'll be asked to configure the package manager. Choose the Yes option to use a network mirror. This will allow your system to receive updates and additional software from Kali repositories. Finally, install the Grub bootloader. This is a program that loads the operating system when the computer starts. Select Yes and choose the device where you want to install the bootloader. Once you've completed these steps, the installation process will finish and you'll be able to boot into your new Kali Linux system. Congratulations, you've successfully installed Kali Linux on your system. The world of cybersecurity awaits your exploration. Remember, with great power comes great responsibility. Use your newfound knowledge wisely. Let's quickly recap the steps you've taken to install Kali Linux. You started by understanding what Kali Linux is and its system requirements. You then went on to download Kali Linux from its official website, ensuring you have the latest version. After downloading, you created a bootable USB, a critical step that allows your computer to run Kali Linux from the USB drive. Finally, you installed Kali Linux on your system, following the step-by-step instructions carefully. However, Installation isn't always a smooth ride. You might encounter issues such as incompatible hardware, faulty downloads, or errors while creating the bootable USB. Don't panic. These are common hiccups. Make sure to recheck your system requirements, re-download the Kali Linux file if necessary, and ensure your bootable USB is correctly created. With Kali Linux installed, you're now ready to explore its powerful features. Happy hacking!